Hey y'all, Mike with Cardboard Kingdom. Welcome back to another Disney Lorcana market update video. Today is the 8th of January. I hope you all are doing well. Apologize for the winter wear here. It is just frigid in Missouri for the last week or so. We've gotten a ton of snow, a ton of ice. My heater went out this morning. I fixed it. Thank the Lord we didn't have to call an HVAC tech. But yeah, it's been crazy. And I will say I've been trying to get videos out for a few days now, but between, what seems to be a never-ending holiday break for the kids, with school being out into its sickness season, so kids are home. I start recording a video yesterday, and my wife went out to run some errands for the first time in, a week because we've been snowed in, gets a flat tire, had to go deal with that. So it's just been a wild time here for the last couple weeks. So with that being said, I will have the December monthly market recap video out soon. I have all the data pulled and everything. Just have to knock that out. But today I wanted to just get back into the swing of things with a more general market update video, and then we'll go from there. So we're going to talk about Sealed today. We're going to talk about a few cards that are doing really well, and then just give some general thoughts and observations since I've been kind of, we'll say, AFK for a month or so, just kind of hanging with the fam and taking a step back from everything. Definitely still been, looking at cards, buying cards. Still, there's not a day that goes by that I'm not doing something Lorcana related. But with that being said, taking a step back from the content, just kind of seeing where the community's at. I've got some thoughts on that. So with that being said, starting off with the sealed side of things, getting into the expected value here for the boxes. I haven't gotten you guys this information for some time, so I wanted to get over to you. Values are still down quite a bit here. We have the first chapter is at $170 in expected value. And just for anyone new to my channel, as a recap, this assumes a 1 in 96 pull rate, and it only calculates cards with a 35-cent or greater value. And so this, when I say expected value, in theory, if let's say you open a case of booster boxes, the average value is going to come out to somewhere around this given number for each specific set. First chapter, $170. Rise of the Floodborn, $96. Into the Inklings, $88. Ursula's Return, $71. Shimmering Sky, $72. And Azurite Sea holding relatively strong at $95. Azurite Sea was holding very strong around, the 120, 115 range for a long time, and then saw that drop off down to, the high 90s, and it really hasn't left that range. So it's been holding pretty strong. It did go down a couple dollars overnight there, but by and large, I would say Azurite Sea at $90+. Still holding very strong for a set that now has been out for a month and a half. So that is the expected value for the sealed side of things. Now, a couple things I wanted to talk about in regards to just the market stuff. We have seen a few sales on the Disney Lorcana first chapter booster box cases. So this is 4 booster boxes and a sealed case from Ravensburger, for those of you who are not familiar. Last time we were back in early December, when we were making our most recent market update videos. This box was around $11.50 to $12.50, in that range. We've had a few sales on the early January here on the 4th for $1,200. We had 2 at $12.50 and then 1 at $1,300 on the 5th. So it's been a couple days since a sale, because we do have a new kind of price point here of what the sellers are willing to sell it for versus what the buyers are willing to buy it for. So probably going to be, it's been, 3 days since the sale, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one goes soon. At $13.50, and then we're up to $1,400. So that puts the price per box at roughly $350, which is right in line with where the box is now currently. I've been a proponent of cases since I started this channel. I am still a proponent of cases, and it's nice to see, because there for a while, a case was cheaper than just buying 4 boxes, and that to me is just an absolute no-brainer. It's kind of evened out now, but I still think in a case for $13.50 versus buying 4 boxes for $3.50, like I would go that route all day and twice on Sunday. So that's where we're at for the sealed cases. I still think that's a really, really good buy. I did want to look at the individual booster boxes. We have some additional listings here, which are interesting. I'm curious. Let me know if you guys have bought any of these boxes yet and opened them, and also the difference between the two. So you can see the first 2 listings here are both from Light Grocery, and they are Chinese boxes, Chinese booster boxes. So you can see this one looks very familiar to, like, if you think of like a Japanese Pokemon booster box, square, less packs, less cards. Looks very similar to what we see in like the Japanese Pokemon world, but it does say first chapter booster box light version Chinese. So this is the light version. Now they have another listing. It says Disney Lorcana, the first chapter booster box regular version Chinese. And this looks, you know, it's got kind of its own vibe. Kind of looks on the bottom, looks more like a traditional booster box. Top, it's facing a different direction, but it kind of gives that same Lorcana vibe on the bottom at least. So I'm not sure what the difference is. This one is $10 more according to their listings. I personally have not opened any of the Chinese product. I have not purchased any of the Chinese product, so I'm not an expert here by any means. I'm just more or less looking for advice from you guys on what the difference is between these two boxes, because I am not sure. I will say this, well, you know, this person is verified. They have 383 sales. It looks like they have gotten some negative feedback recently. So if you are in the market for a Chinese booster box, I would at least check that out. But as we get into the English side of things, lowest verified on the market is 350, and we're probably going to be at 350 for some time. I will say there's no listing that has a ton of booster boxes. We have an unverified seller here with 4 booster boxes, 2, 1, 2, 7. Not a lot going on here. I will say it's nice to see this ESPN Ray listing. If you guys have been around for a while, ESPN Ray, they used to have, I don't know, 80 plus boxes for sale, and they have just kind of slowly increased the price of their listing as the price has gone up, and we're almost through all of the boxes that they had. Yeah, you can see the picture here of everything that they had. They had quite the collection. I think their Amazon bot machine was working pretty well. So they've done very well for themselves. They were selling from the 220 price point to now to the 350 price point. They've offloaded, like I said, like somewhere between like maybe 80 and 100 boxes, and they've only got 7 left of at least of this listing. They probably have more than that. But cool to see that we're almost through those. And the first chapter machine has just kind of continued to drive on. We are not that many boxes away from a $400 floor. Will be a while until we get there, but that has it's at least kind of in the vision now. Sales have slowed down a little bit. So when we were around the 300 price point, we were seeing anywhere between 10 to 15-ish boxes per day on average. Some days a little bit higher, some days a little bit lower, but I would say 10 was a good threshold. Since we've kind of gotten up to this 350 price point, you can see there's only like, I don't know what, 4 or 5 sales yesterday, 4 sales on the 6th, maybe 5 sales on the 5th, 1 sale on the 4th. So it just kind of slowed down a little bit. Oh, and some of these are even the Chinese sales. Still consistent, right? Selling daily at the 350-ish price point, but it just has slowed down a little bit. So I think we're going to be around this price point for a long time, but that has gone up from, you know, we were at 220 6 months ago. And so it's gone up, you know, dramatically. You're talking 30-40% increase in price just over the last few months, which is really, really cool to see for the people that are holding it. Obviously, the people that are looking to get their first chapter, the booster boxes are becoming very, very high priced and very, very mismatched in terms of price as it relates to the expected value. Expected value on this box still sitting at 170, so we're double that in terms of price for the box now. And so definitely would not recommend opening the first chapter. But with that being said, I'm not looking to gatekeep anyone's experience or collection. So if you want to open the first chapter, go for it. I would say at this point, if you don't pull an Elsa or maybe like a Carefree Surfer Stitch, you're probably going to be at a net loss for the box, and you could pull Stitch and maybe even still be at a net loss. But just be careful with opening the product. But if you're looking to do it and you haven't had your chance to open it yet, I would say go ahead and go for it. The other booster boxes have remained pretty consistent. Azurite C is holding fairly strong. Where did Azurite C go here? I lost it on my list. Azurite C, $100 for the box. Still expected value at around 90, 95-ish. Was 97 yesterday, so holding strong there. The rest of the boxes, I would say, are in terms of expected value, not the best deals right now, and so try and scoop them up when you see them on deals. We had like some Best Buy sales recently, or maybe an Amazon sale, whatever. Look for those deals to get your booster boxes if you are looking to open a product. That's going to be your best bet to just get the best bang for your buck. The D23 collection boxes are creeping back up to 300. So lowest on the market is a $300 seller. This had dipped back down to the 270, 250 range for a little bit, and we are back up at over 300. And in correlation with that, the D23 Mickey 2024, what is it, the Playful Sorcerer. Let me get off sealed here for a second. The Playful Sorcerer Mickey has came down in price a little bit, so this is one that I've been waiting on personally, because I didn't want to pay the 180 that it was at for a long time, and it looks like we are starting to see it come down a little bit. So the Playful Sorcerer D23 Mickey, enchanted foil. It's got the gold nameplate. I think it's going to be a really, really good card to collect moving forward. It is sitting at $145, down from, roughly 180 that it was sitting at 200 for a very, very long time. It is starting to come down in price, and so definitely at a good spot to buy for anyone who has been looking at this card. I think 144 for a near mint copy is a good price. I'm going to continue to wait to just let the market flush out a little bit and see where we're going to go, because this card is still relatively new. It's been out for maybe 4 months. People could be sitting on stacks of these that went to the D23 convention, and so I'm just going to wait on it and see what comes my way. One card that's seen tremendous growth here as of late that's very exciting, Mirabel Madrigal, the Store Championship card from the most recent Store Championships, which was kind of vilified, if you will, because it was an 8 of when the other Store Championships were a 4 of, and it has seen a ton of sales here recently. So you can see 38 sales just between today and the previous couple days, and so I think that it's interesting to see it rise as much as it has. Lowest on the market is $60. There was a time where this card was readily available for around $30, and so it's doubled in price here very, very quickly by becoming part of the meta. I think in terms of Steel Song, it's not that impossible now to have 5 characters out between your low-cost Cindy's, your Shmees, your Calhouns, so I think your Daisies, right? Aerials, there's a lot of low-cost characters in Steel Song. Makes that 5 count to play this card in Quest for 5 very, very possible. And any character that quests for 5 is going to be, it's going to be a good time. So that is where we're at with the Mirabel, but it's seen just a ton of sales here recently and a ton of growth. And so I wanted to at least put that on your guys' radar. The Ursula set champs, or store champs card, is still around like 90. It hasn't really moved much at all. This one, though, is seeing a lot of growth here as of late. Probably going to see it get into the meta. And then we're going to see a lot of shakeups here soon in the coming days. Good luck to everyone who's going to be traveling to the North America Continentals, but the last chance qualifier, as well as the North America Championships. That's going to be very, very fun to watch. Excited to see the best North America go at it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited for that. That's this weekend. Obviously, I'm sure the Ravensburger team will be streaming it on Twitch, like they always do. There'll be all sorts of VODs and breakdowns on YouTube. I am nowhere near an expert player, so I lean on my fellow content creators for that type of analysis and breakdown. But I'm very, very excited to see what happens there. Obviously, we had the kind of cross-continental challenge with Pixelborn that Zach Bivens took down with Steel Song, which is really, really cool to see. And we'll see if he can run it back here in the North America Championship. Should be an awesome time and should be pretty meta-defining, right? As we get into, now I think they mentioned, I don't know if we have an exact date for Worlds yet, but I think it was originally announced in April of 2025. So, we're almost there, and I think that's going to be just a huge catalyst for the game, and it's going to just kind of level up everything Lorcana related, getting into the North American Championships and Worlds, and the North America Championships is going to cause all sorts of craziness in the market in terms of metas and cards flying up or flying down, and there's going to be a lot of price action off of the back of that event, which will be fun to see. So that's kind of it for the market stuff today. There's been some other cards that are going up and down and doing whatever, but nothing. Mirabel was really the standout that I wanted to bring to your guys' attention, and then we'll just kind of end the video with a couple minutes here in terms of like anecdotal thoughts of just the space and where we're at with Lorcana. As I've it's probably been, I would say, a month since I made videos consistently here. And it's been very, very interesting to just kind of sit back and take everything in, whether it's on Reddit, on Twitter, in the Discord, just kind of observing things, not really providing too much input or insight, but just kind of sit back and seeing what the Lorcana collectors and players and investors are thinking right now. And I was pretty surprised to see how many people expressed, I don't know, negative sentiment about like how there's just a lull going on right now, and they wish something new would come out, or maybe we need some card reveals, or we need some new art, or maybe they're going to look at collecting something else. And there was just a lot of, I would say, just general negative sentiment. And I will say it was a little bit surprising to me because I always saw this particular time frame coming well in advance. On the back of the DLC events being done, not having events for months at a time here. We had the European Championship, now we have the North America Championship. Apart from that, there was nothing going on Lorcana related. It was holiday season. It's getting cold. I don't know. I saw this kind of lull coming for a long time. That's why in a lot of my videos in October, November, and December, I was just saying like, hey guys, this time is coming. It's not a time to sit on the sideline. Like if you have collection goals, now is the time to be completing them, because I firmly believe, and I still do, that as we get into Worlds, new sets coming out, and just all things Lorcana, it's the floor is going to continue to rise. And if you have some of these collection goals like I do, it's only going to get harder and harder. Like, for example, that D23 Elsa that I bought, I mean, it's almost doubled in price since I bought it. And this sale was sketchy. So I don't know if it's real or not. It's on eBay, it's on the sold, right? But the person, maybe they backed out. I don't know. But a D23 PSA 10 Elsa sold for $15K in the beginning of January. I purchased that card for under $5,000, 2 months ago. And so there's a lot of stuff when you look at like the first chapter booster boxes, when you look at the high end cards, whether it's the golden serialized Mickeys, the D23 Elsas, like these cards are moving, and sealed products are moving very, very fast. And so, take this time to, once again, don't get caught up in just the random trolling or the negative sentiment. I mean, look, if you're already bored with Lorcana, then Lorcana's just not for you, and that's okay, right? I have no ill will to anyone who maybe started collecting, but then Lorcana didn't scratch the itch that you had, maybe because of Pokemon or Magic or whatever your other game is. I have no ill will towards you, but I just remain incredibly impressed with how Ravensburger and Lorcana has done thus far. I think that they have got so much awesome stuff coming down the pike in terms of the roadmap. With Pixar coming in, we've got these new products coming in. They're going to have packs from various different sets. I think that they're also doing the kind of like the full art thing with the Lilo and Stitch card inside that box set. Like, I don't know. I think they're doing really, really good, and I am nowhere near like having my thirst quenched for my collection within Lorcana. Still, I mean, I was even just playing Lorcana with some buddies a couple days ago, and I have a couple Enchanteds in my deck, and just like playing them and seeing them, like I'm still taken back by them. And so I am by no means like bored. I am by no means like, worried about the future, like going to Pokemon or whatever. Like, Lorcana is where I want to be. It fits my family, the family dynamic perfectly. Sharing this connection with them is just awesome. Pokemon wouldn't do that. Magic wouldn't do that. No other TCG would do that. It gives me the nostalgia vibes from my childhood. Like, I don't know. It's Lorcana to me is just it's hitting all the right spots. Sure, there's things they could do better. There's a lot of opportunity on the competitive side of things. I would love to see some sort of intermediate rarity in terms of pull rate between legendary and enchanted, some sort of full art variant. Like, I would like to see some of these things. But I am not bored of Lorcana at all. I am very, very much as deeply entrenched as I have been. I've been making content, but that's a completely different beast. I just feel very, very good about where Lorcana is at. And I've once again, have just been surprised to see how much negative sentiment has been out there, or people just like saying they're bored, or, because I think some people, like, once again, they just look at this and see it as, how much free tendies can I get? And in reality, this stuff, and I've said it from the beginning, like, this stuff takes time, guys. Like, if you are only looking at this through a financial lens, you have to have the time frame to sit there and just sit on it, right? And enjoy looking at it, or playing with it, or knowing that you have it, right? Flipping through the binder, like, you have to have ways to enjoy it. Because if you're only doing it for the money, this stuff isn't going to go up overnight. This is a brand new trading card game. It has to take time. It has to grow its following. It has to grow its fan base. And they're doing that, right? I have no doubt that that's happening, but it's just taking longer than some people wanted. And that's leading to them being bored. That's leading to them selling their pieces. And honestly, like, in my opinion, that's the only way you can lose is buy something you don't really like. It goes down, 20% in a week or in a month, or maybe it doesn't move at all. And then you say, why did I buy this card? I don't even like this card. Sell it. And then you're out the selling fees, or, maybe you're selling it through Marketplace. You have to take some off anyway, like invest the time to sell it. Like there's just, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people we're kind of seeing their true colors in terms of how much do they really like Lorcana, or were they only looking for free tendies, right? Because right now, unless you have a few specific cards or the first chapter, everything else is kind of like slowly going up, or maybe slowly going down, or just staying even. In the December monthly market recap, we'll look at a couple cards. Actually, a lot of the cards are trending up slowly. They're not like doubling in price overnight, but just kind of slow upticks, which is nice. That's what you want to see. That's a very healthy environment. But yeah, overall, I was just very surprised to see how much negative sentiment was out there. I remain steadfast in my fandom and my need to collect Lorcana. I am just thrilled for 2025 and especially 2026 with Pixar. I mentioned that quite a bit. We need to stay where our feet are, stay grounded. Where 2025 just started, but I am very excited for 2026 as well. But we have the 2 new sets coming up. We've got Worlds coming up. Like just a lot of time. Very, very exciting times, and once again, just times to stay busy, right? If you've got collection goals, write them down, be steadfast about them. Don't get leveraged. Don't take out any sort of like credit card debt or loans or anything. Take your time, go at your own pace, stay consistent, and then don't let times like this where you might get on Twitter or Reddit and see some people complaining or whatever, and that they're leaving Lorcana. Like if you truly want to collect it, focus on your goals. Keep grinding, stay busy. That's my plan right now, right? And I remain very, very happy with all things Lorcana. The only thing I've been sad about lately is I did not get my December PSA magazine, which is just cruel and unusual punishment because I have been a PSA subscriber and gotten all of the magazines before the first Lorcana one came out and everything. But the one I didn't get is the one I was most excited for. So I emailed them and put in a ticket. I'm not expecting a happy resolution there, but I have not gotten my December Pop Culture TCG PSA magazine. I was really hoping for an Elsa. So with that being said, that's the only thing bad that's been happening in my world on the TCG front. So we will have the December monthly market recap coming soon, and then once again we're going to continue to get back into a more consistent volume of videos here. It's just been a wild wild last month with I mean, my daughter has been home. She's in kindergarten. She's been home for 3 weeks now, like it maybe closing in on close to 4 weeks. Like it's just been absolutely insane. Sickness season, just a pure chaos. But hey, you just got to enjoy it. It's been a fun time. We've had a lot of fun as a family. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't ready for everyone to kind of get back to work, get back to school, get back to daycare, and that way I can have a little bit of sanity. But once again, I'm not taking this time for granted either. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate you all rocking with me, and yeah, we will be back with another video soon. Bye, guys.